Good evening, my name is Annie, and today I'm going to be talking about the person that I chose as my facial model, and that is my friend Rachel. So the reason I chose Rachel is she's a fairly easy person for me to model. I spend a lot of time with her, and I'm able to get in contact with her easily, and she has a very unique face shape because she had a surgery on her nose after a pack of horses broke her nose. So that'll be difficult, somewhat difficult for me to model, a little bit of a challenge. So the frontal view of her face, she is wearing makeup, so it covers some of the lines, but I hope you can see them. The first facial marking we see as designated by 1 is the dimple. Then number 2 is the philtrum. Number 3 is the angulus oris sulcus. It's kind of easy to see since she's smiling a little bit. Number 4 is the labiomental sulcus. And number 5 is the nasolabial fold, and those are all natural facial markings. And then her acquired facial markings in this frontal view are the nasolabial sulci and the inferior palpebral sulci. And you can kind of see them just a little bit. The left side view of her face, you can see the dimple and the labiomental sulcus again as natural facial markings. And number 3 would be our acquired facial marking of the optic facial sulci, or the crow's feet as they're usually called. They're a little difficult to see in this view, but on the other views it's a little bit easier. And then I also labeled the freckles she has on her face and her ear. On the right side view, for the natural facial markings, we have the dimple and the labiomental sulcus again. Number 3 is the optic facial sulci, the crow's feet again. And then 4, I labeled a freckle that she has on her ear. It's kind of difficult to see because it's blended in a bit with her hair. And for the left 3/4 view, I chose to point out the dimple, which in that picture it kind of looks like it's a line, but as you saw in the frontal view, it's definitely more of a dimple. And then the nasolabial fold. And then her acquired facial markings are her optic facial sulci. It's a little bit easier to see them in this one. Number 4 would be the inferior palpebral sulci. And number 5 would be her labial sulci, which I didn't label it in the frontal view just because it was a little difficult to see. And then on the right 3/4 view, we have her acquired facial markings of a dimple and her nasolabial fold again. And her acquired facial markings are the crow's feet again, the inferior palpebral sulci, and her labial sulci. And on this side, it's a little harder to see just because it blends in a little better with the makeup. And then I labeled 2 scars that she has on her upper lip and her cheek. I just figured those would be good to point out since they are those tiny little details that may make the difference when I'm modeling her. And then onto her profile shape. I consider her to be a convex concave because the nose and her forehead are, sorry about that, there's a typo I didn't realize. The forehead recedes behind the line, while the nose and the chin both protrude in front of the line. And then her face shape, I decided that she had a round face shape. Her cheekbones are very prominent and then are a very wide part of her face, and they're equal width and height. And her chin is very circular, and it didn't really get the top or the bottom of her face very well, but she does have a very round face. And in the other photos that I need to provide for the model, I will be sure to include better photos of it. Alrighty, that is it, and thank you so much. Good night.